What's new from Apple? There's the new iPhone 16 Pro, built for Apple Intelligence. And it comes with the all-new camera control, giving you an easier way to quickly access your camera tools. The new Apple Watch Series 10 has our biggest display and our thinnest design ever. And this? It's the sound of active noise cancellation, now available on one of 2 new AirPods 4 models. So quiet. Check out all of the new products and new features at apple.com. You can even buy yourself something new. See apple.com for product availability updates. Apple Intelligence coming this fall.
With Walmart's new fresh and frozen subscriptions, you can save time on your weekly grocery shopping.
Dad, you're supposed to be grocery shopping.
And miss the chance to embarrass you in front of your friends? I subscribe to snacks and wet napkins. You know how messy you are.
Dad!
Walmart. Subscribe to your weekly list.
This is what you do when you've just found that statement handbag on eBay and you want to build an entire wardrobe around it. You start selling to keep buying. Yep, on eBay. Over that all-black everything phase? List it and buy all the color. Feeling more vintage than ever? It's out with the new and in with the pre-loved. Next thing you know, you've refreshed your wardrobe basically without spending a dime. Yeah, eBay, the place to buy and sell new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
Why was the garden so stinky? Because the gardener pooped his plants. What happened to the letter that fell off the billboard? Nothing. It's just a little dirt E. Your dad is so poetic, he can rhyme any word with orange.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by 2 really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valves, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic, echographic, and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent of Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve!
From the world-famous Cardiff Electric Network studios, it's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider. Gives me street cred with the whack alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And we got Tacie, my partner in all things. Hello, Tacie.
Hello.
This is a show for people who have never listened to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347-POOHEAD. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at DrScottWM. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything here with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking it over with your healthcare provider. Very good. Please don't forget stuff.drsteve.com. That's stuff.drsteve.com for all your Amazon needs. Just click through or to Amazon, or you can just scroll down and buy stuff that we talk about on the show all the time. If you're having erectile dysfunction, you've tried the sildenafils and they make you feel weird, or you get the nasal congestion or blue vision or something, or you've been told you can't take it because you're on medication that doesn't react with it well, consider going to ed.drsteve.com and check out the Phoenix acoustic shockwave device. Clinically demonstrated, lots of good data on these things to improve erectile dysfunction, and it ain't cheap, but they do have a payment plan, and if you go to ed.drsteve.com, you get a discount as well. It's about 3 months. You do it 2 nights a week for a month, and then you take a month off, and then you do it 2 nights a week for another month, and then you're kind of done. And so check that out, ed.drsteve.com. And then don't forget Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. That's simplyherbals.net, where he has the greatest nasal spray in the world, the CBD sinus rinse from Simply Herbals. And you've got some in stock?
Oh, yeah.
Because I need to order some myself.
We've got some.
And then check us out at patreon.com/weirdmedicine. We have lots of shows that are completely different than the SiriusXM or the podcast. And wanting to do live stream. We'll talk about it in a little bit. And then a different kind of live stream for us. And then check out cameo.com/weirdmedicine. I had one the other day where they wanted to ask a question that they tried to get on the air. And I said, well, you don't have to pay for that. So I just waited till it expired and did it. And then did it for free. But yeah, don't make me do all of those. But I did that on that one. It's so dirt cheap. It's ridiculous, but it's fun to do. And I like to say fluid to your mama and all kinds of stuff like that. So, all right?
All right.
All right.
Cameo.com/weirdmedicine. Yeah, so the ongoing saga of my stupid lung, you know, I had people in the fluid family, those are the people who listen on YouTube when we record live, know that there were a couple shows back where I had to stop the show 3 or 4 times just to cough and then come back. And it turned out I had pneumonia, but I also have a thing called bronchiectasis. What bronchiectasis? Where the airways become unnaturally enlarged. And the reason that mine were unnaturally enlarged was because of COVID. And I have scar tissue in my lung, in one part of my lung, just in the left lower quadrant of, left lower lobe of one of my lungs. Well, the left lung, duh. Hence the name left lung. But anyway, I have scar tissue there, and as scar tissue contracts, it shrinks, right? Well, it's shrinking in a bunch of different directions, so it's pulling open these microscopic airways, and now they are macroscopic. You can see them on I might put one of these pictures up on Instagram just so people can see what I'm talking about. But you could see the tubes where they're supposed to be microscopic. Now they're very visible. And the problem is the body can't clear those out. Normally, you've got little cilia and little cells in there that keep everything nice and clean, all pushing in the right direction, getting mucus and dust and stupid shit out of there. And my lung in that part can't do that anymore. And so that was why right before we went to on vacation, you and our youngest son got to fly, and I drove 13 hours.
Yes.
Because they wouldn't let me on the plane. I was hacking so much. Well, so I finally saw a cardiothoracic surgeon. He said, we're going to, take it easy. But he agrees that if that thing gets infected with something bad, that'll be that'll be very difficult to get rid of it and may be the end of me. So I want to have it removed, but they're going to go down and look with a bronchoscopy, which is basically, if you've ever had a colonoscopy, this is the same thing, except it's a much thinner tube, and they put it down into your lungs and look around. And what they're looking for is a foreign body. Maybe when I was whooping and coughing during COVID, that I actually inhaled something and it got lodged in there. It's possible. And all this coughing's been my body trying to get rid of that damn thing. I'm going to be very pissed if it's a kernel of Orville Redenbacher's that's stuck in there. There will be something said about that, but anyway.
We need to get on it quick.
Yeah. So we're getting on it. I've been on antibiotics for a month, so my cough is quite a bit better. Not completely gone, but better. But they're going to do it with a robot. So I kind of want to have it done now because the surgeon's in a different room.
Yeah.
They prep you. And he said, when you go in with your hands, if you so you make an incision around the rib cage, right? Between the ribs, and then they put these spreaders in and spread the ribs apart. And when they do that, they crush the nerve on the lower rib, so you end up with this thing called post-thoracotomy pain syndrome. It's just a horrible nerve pain.
Sure.
And he said, even then, when you get in there, you can only do your wrists up and down, but the robot can get in there and it can do 360 degrees, and it can do all kinds of stuff that you can't do otherwise with just a tiny little incision.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell they do it. They're in the other room. They've got virtual reality glasses on, and they're just manipulating this thing with their fingers, and it does the surgery. It's crazy.
It is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm actually I want to do, I said, can we videotape that? And he said, oh, yeah, hell yeah, you can. I said, I'm putting that on my fucking YouTube channel.
My God.
Oh, God.
That'll be good. How soon is this? Is it anytime soon?
That'll be like June if we do it. We're recording this in late April, so a couple of months.
Good.
And maybe later than that. I think it's the end of June I have to have the next test, and then so it'd probably be late July or early August when they do that. But yeah, I'll post that. I'll post the hell out of that.
Can we not do it sooner?
Nope.
I mean, I just don't want you getting sick.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, if I get sick, they'll do it sooner.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right.
All right. So we have no. So that's the update on that, and I just think the robot thing is cool.
Yeah, I just wish you weren't a recipient of
like
it.
them robots, don't you know? I don't know why Myrtle would say that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody so excited about having a surgery.
I mean, come on.
It's just a chunk
I
of
understand.
lung.
Yeah, I understand if it was like a colonoscopy and getting excited, but
Yeah,
lung surgery.
I do get excited about my colonoscopies because
you can brag about how you don't.
Yeah, no anesthesia. That's right.
Just pull up your drawers and move on.
That's right.
Well, that's because you're an idiot.
Hey, now wait a minute.
Yeah.
And we can fix
agree.
that post-thoracotomy pain syndrome too.
Oh yeah. Well, I treat it with Botox. So if you know anybody that's had this done and they've done the acupuncture and they've done all the things and nothing works, botulinum toxin is. I actually published an article about it. We put 2 units per centimeter along the scar, and people think of Botox as just relaxing muscles, but also decreases the transmission of a thing called substance P from nerve endings to the brain. And when you do that, it doesn't transmit pain signals anymore. And it'll work for about 4 months. And then you do it 2 or 3 times, and then you don't have to do it anymore because it depletes all the substance P, and the body just says, well, I give up. I'm not making this stuff here anymore. So you can still feel pain other places, but in that area, you won't feel pain anymore. So that's pretty neat treatment for that.
Oh, heck yeah.
So if you know anybody that went through this and is having pain in their rib cage because they had the rib spread because of a they were doing a lobectomy or they were doing this, that, or the other. We really do have. It is allergy season in the Weird Medicine Studio. Tacie's hacking, Dr. Scott's hacking. I'm the only one not coughing today. What the hell's going on?
Keep it up. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Hey, I have a letter here from someone. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to start doing. And I think I'll do this solo, but we'll see. I'm going to do the first one by myself just to see how chaotic it is. And then I can loop everybody else in. But a live stream, like Cardiff and Vinny are doing. By the way, I hear that Mr. Cardiff, the owner of our network, has COVID-19. He's like the last person on Earth to get it for the first time. But anyway, this is what we hope he's okay. And I haven't heard back from him. I asked if he wanted to be on the show today. So, but, Vinny and Cardiff do a show called Subreddit Surfing, which is really a fun show. On Monday, they get on and they go to a Reddit subreddit and find the craziest stuff they can find. And they'll say, if anybody on this sub wants to get on with us, they put the link on their StreamYard. And then people can come in. They had one, there's one subreddit for people that go dumpster diving. And they had a woman get on there and say, yeah, look at all this stuff. And, she talked about all this food and things that she's gotten from going into the dumpsters and stuff at night. And, it was really interesting. And I think that show, something is going to happen on that show that's going to make the news someday with some subreddit, when they get on there and brigading their show. But I thought that would be kind of fun to put our StreamYard link out on Twitter and on our Reddit, and then let just people join in, and then they can ask questions, and we can do a show for YouTube that is live question and answers, which we've not been doing on the radio show or the podcast for a long time. And I think that might be kind of fun. It'll get our viewer numbers up too, so we can get them super chats.
What does Reddit do?
Reddit is like a bulletin board where you've just a million different topics. Like I'm reading a book by William Gibson right now called The Peripheral. They made a TV show out of it. And there's a subreddit for that, just subreddit The Peripheral for the TV show. And then if you're interested in Dan Simmons' Hyperion, there's a subreddit for that. There's a subreddit for kombucha that I'm very active in. Just stuff like that. There's just every effing thing you can think of, plus a bunch of shit that you never would ever think of. Like, Am I the Asshole? That's a good one.
That is a good one. That's on Facebook, too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Where people go, hey, this happened, then this happened, and I said this. Am I the asshole? And they're always expecting for people to say, no, of course you're not the asshole. But a lot of times they are the asshole. And, stuff like that. And there's some really kind of really out-kilter subreddits, too. So it'd be kind of fun to do that. And we could find a medicine subreddit and throw it on there even. But I'd rather have people that know who we are or adjacent anyway. If people want to fuck with us, I'd rather it be someone that's a fan of someone in this universe, even, if it's Stuttering John or whoever, if they want to get in there and mess with us. You know what I mean? So anyway. All right.
All right.
Okay, so I have this letter. It says, so I'm morbidly obese. We don't use that term anymore so much, but okay, you said it. 5'5", 320 pounds. Yeah, me. Would you calculate his BMI for us, Dr. Scott?
Sure.
5'5". And so that's, 65 inches and 320 pounds. Any who, after several pro visits, primary care doc, endocrinologist, my A1, I don't know what that meant. My A1C is 6.1, cholesterol is good, testosterone is low. Said I saw a weight management doctor today. After some history, their first suggestion was bariatric surgery. Okay, so they immediately went straight to bariatric surgery. So what was his BMI?
What 350?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 5'5", 350.
Gotcha. 58.2.
Okay, so that's a pretty high BMI.
Pretty high, yeah.
So after some history, their first suggestion was bariatric surgery. That has my hackles up, questioning the motive. Maybe I'm just an asshole. No, I think you can always question. You should be skeptical always, and by skeptical I don't mean being cynical. It's just you always want to inquire and make sure that there's critical, clear thinking going on. And you can always ask, well, what's your reason for that?
Sure.
Aren't you supposed to prove that you can lose a little bit of weight on your own?
Well, yeah, so they what they really may have wanted to do was get this person into their bariatric surgery program, which is where they do psychological treatment and they do dietary management in exactly what Tacie said. And it actually, you should
give thyself a bell.
No. To get to do some, you got to do some weight loss first to show that you can sustain it and that you're serious about it.
Yeah.
Now, the way that they do it on that 600-pound life isn't the way every single place works, but yeah, that would be the thing. So I'm wondering if what this provider said was, hey, we want to get you into our bariatric surgery program, not necessarily, hey, let's schedule it for next week. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing. But he or she can call back. I stated that was off the table. I asked what other options were available, and we're going with semaglutide. A consult with a dietitian, that seems reasonable. The side effects of this medication do concern me. Tacie, you want to talk a little bit about semaglutide?
Nausea, you cannot eat too much. You have to listen to your body. You need to eat the right things.
Like what? What right things would those be?
The things they tell you to eat.
Okay,
like
fair.
Carrots and shit. You don't need to be having donuts.
Oh,
come on.
That's a deal breaker.
I know. So I mean, but it affects everybody differently. Like I've taken it before for PCOS, and now they're not approving it because there's a shortage.
Even though
for PCOS, though
Wegovy is, semaglutide is indicated for weight loss now, though.
Yeah, Wegovy is a huge dose of semaglutide.
I see. Okay, got it.
So we don't know.
Give thyself a bell.
That was a good one. I'll give you that.
We don't know. what semaglutide they put him on.
Yeah, right. Well, it belongs to this class of medications known as glucagon-like peptide-1 receptor antagonists, or GLP-1.
I tell you what, there's a drug called Mounjaro that's going to change the world.
Yep.
It's just got to get that weight loss indication.
It's in the same class, right?
It's a little bit different, and I can't really explain how.
Okay.
My friend used to sell it, and I can't explain how, but I was on it for a month and lost like 17 pounds.
Okay. Well, Mounjaro is tirzepatide.
Yes. But it's like, it's not exactly...
Okay.
There's a little bit of something different about it. I don't know if you would even say it's a GLP-1.
Well, that's
or
what I want to know. We're going to know in the next little bit.
Yeah.
But it does slow the emptying of the stomach, so it basically gives you a feeling of early satiety, and you feel full longer. It suppresses appetite by slowing hunger signals into the brain. Let's see here. I do want to see what kind of what class of drug class is Mounjaro. Okay, it's a dual glucose-dependent insulinotropic polypeptide and glucagon-like peptide receptor antagonist. So it has GLP-1 activity, but also GIP activity.
Okay, I knew there was something a little bit different, and
it's the first medication in the GIP/GLP-1 class.
So I was reading Facebook today.
Oh, well, that good medical journal.
Yeah. And there was an argument about Ozempic on there and Mounjaro, and how Mounjaro was different or not different. It is different, but I didn't get involved because I knew it was different. I just didn't know how. And you can't argue with fuckers on Facebook.
Right. Why
You
even
will
bother?
lose no matter what. I lost an argument
about Disney.
Disney won. That was my first lesson.
Yeah.
And the second lesson was in the last lesson.
Yeah.
Was when they were talking about how physicians make money off the prescriptions they write. That is not true. And you as a physician and me as a pharmaceutical rep, I know this for a fact. Yeah. However, I lost the argument because it just went on forever. And my last line to this lady was, just go get your effing flu shot. And I just was...
This is what you were trying to say.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
I love it.
Yeah.
Poor G-Dog.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
one of my favorite things he ever said. And then, was it...
He's a nut.
Hey, was it... well, you could see it when he was saying it. He was like, uh-oh. I did that last night. I was giving a talk in a place in Southwest Virginia about safe opioid prescribing. And I was like, oh, I got this really cool pearl to tell you about this drug. And then I sat there and I pulled a GW. You could see the look on his face when he said, there's this old saying. And you could see he's temporizing in Tennessee, and we got it in Texas too, hoping it'd come to him. And I was like, nope, having a senior moment. I got to move on. So I went to the next slide.
So,
anyway.
But that's absolutely not true. It's just not true. But this Mounjaro, I mean, they're crazy amounts of weight loss for people.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to change the world. Now, it's going to be expensive, but you can get this stuff. You can get the Ozempic and the Mounjaro compounded at certain
Compounding
pharmacies and certain physicians' offices that are selling it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a little bit different, and I don't know how it's legal.
Well, it's legal. I'll tell you how it's legal. They have to provide it to you in a different vehicle. For example, when sildenafil, a.k.a. the active ingredient in Viagra, was still on patent, they could still sell it at a compounding pharmacy for 1/10 of the price if they compounded it into a sublingual lozenge, for example, because there's no sublingual lozenge available.
Yes.
So if they're giving it to you, we'd have to have a compounding pharmacist call in on this. Changing the concentration maybe might do it, or a different vehicle. But if they're both injections, I have the same concern you do.
Well,
I
she
don't
said
see how
she
they
thought
can...
it was because they may add vitamin B6.
Yeah, okay.
To
just do that to everything.
Decrease the nausea.
Yeah.
Because if you eat too much on this stuff,
Well, that's the whole point, right?
Well, it's because it gives you gastroparesis,
right?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, why would you want to?
Nice word.
Makes no
Give
sense.
thyself a bell.
Oh, it's 2-1. Look at him.
Yes. No, that's right.
He's so
Gastroparesis is just delayed gastric emptying, and that would be pathologic delayed gastric. Diabetics or people with diabetes, we're not supposed to say diabetics anymore. People with diabetes can sometimes kill the nerves to their stomach, and it won't contract anymore. It just sits there like a sack.
Right.
And they very often will get sick to their stomach, may even vomit. They might vomit. Or they'll just feel full all the time and lose weight, which is not a good thing when you're type 1 diabetic.
I take Ozempic and I think about something gross. I gag.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it does great for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay. So he said the side effects of this medication do concern me. Also, they suggested clinical meal replacement shakes and that they were different than protein shakes and geared toward weight loss, overbuilding muscle mass. They sell these too. Of course they do. Did I mention they sell these too? Okay. Says, I was about 285 in 2016. I was about 210 pounds. My lowest feeling great and looking good in 2018. Had plantar issues crept in and started the slippery slope. Yeah, and then we moved and other things happened. I know I was in my best shape. I was weightlifting, bodybuilding in 4th year of medical school. And then I got epididymitis from lifting.
Oh, yeah.
And then I became an intern and didn't have as much time, and I couldn't lift anymore because of the pain in my nuts. Epididymitis, for those, is inflammation of the top part of the testicle, where a bunch of collection of tubules called the epididymis matures sperm from the testicle and then transmits it to the vas deferens to get into the body, and it hurts like hell.
Yes.
It just feels like you're getting kicked in the nuts the whole time. And so I just deflated, and then I started gaining weight and stuff. So I understand where he's coming from on this. So he said, my questions are, in your opinion, is this reasonable? Am I just being an ass? If you ask that, probably. There may be some element of that. If I have to ask somebody, was I being an ass? Well, yeah, you probably were a little bit. Yeah. But no, I think that you are appropriately questioning the idea of going straight to surgery, but I'm going to bet that they have a process wherein you take medication, you lose weight, you do diet, you do psychology, and you do all that. And at the very end of the line, that's when they mess with your anatomy. Now,
they should have explained that.
Yes, and they should have explained that to him. If he feels like they were giving him the bum rush and just trying to sell him protein shakes and stuff at a huge profit, you can go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. There are other bariatric surgeons in the world. And a university program might be something, or someone that only does that. Just ask around. The people in your area will know who does good bariatric surgery because they know. Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, last resort is mess with your anatomy. Now, I have seen that the GI guys have this thing now where they take an endoscope and they stick it down into your stomach, and then they inflate this balloon.
Yes.
And what that does basically is just make you full all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to, I don't know what kind of results they're getting from that.
Well, I asked one of the physicians that does it in our area.
Yeah.
He said, because I was like, why don't you do that to me? He was like, he wouldn't like it.
Yeah. Well, if it's who I think it is, he should have done it to himself. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That's why he said that. Okay, but anyway. All right. Very good. Well, listen, good luck with your weight loss journey. Hope you get back to 210. That'd be awesome.
Stick to it, baby.
However you got to do it. All right. Stacy DeLoach was on Jim and Sam. Well, actually, he sent them a bunch of Buc-ee's stuff. I'm not going to play it, but I will put it on our website. And the snippet is pretty funny. They were just giving him down the road. You know, if you send them a gift, they're just going to shit.
They're just going to shit on you.
Shit on you. You know.
Terrible.
Have you guys been to one of those Buc-ee's?
No, but
oh my God, they're unbelievable.
They're amazing.
It's
We
like
drove
Disney
by
World,
one.
I'm telling you.
The one in Pigeon Forge, I drove by it this week, and I've never seen a gas station that big before.
It's a truck stop?
No trucks allowed.
Oh, what?
Nope.
Oh, no, I'm not going
Dude,
there.
you go there to eat?
If our brothers and sisters
Party
in the trucking
I think they have
industry,
a dance hall. I think they've got I think they've got a Ferris wheel. And
I mean, there were like
indoor
50
shooting range.
gas stations.
Literally all cars. I mean, no, there 50 at least, maybe 100.
I mean, it's crazy. It's
crazy.
the craziest thing. And this wasn't even
Disney
open
World
yet.
for chocolate-covered pecans?
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
It's the damnest thing I've ever seen.
It's nuts.
I have never seen anything like it.
And if we ever drive by one that's open, we have to go in.
We stopped at one on the way to Nashville. There's one in Crossville. And,
no one cares, but anyway.
No. Talk about it.
You're
Talk
wrong.
about it.
You are wrong.
No, I'm
sir.
saying they don't care where it was. It was Cookville, it was Crossville. Well, no, wait a minute. It's on the Murfreesboro Highway.
Well,
I saw that one, Scott. I know what you're talking about.
It was right near L. White Motors on the Murfreesboro Highway.
Well,
if anybody gets that reference, email me. But anyway, go ahead.
It was incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was like, why are we stopping this stupid place?
And then you were like,
oh my God.
Apparently, their brisket sandwiches are to die for. I mean, it's.
Did you buy anything when you were in there, Scott?
Oh, let's see. We got the covered pecan, the sugar-covered pecans, of course.
I'll make those for you.
And some, we got a couple things.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was just like going to the candy store when you're a kid. You're like, this is sensory overload at its greatest.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, my God.
They've even got a little mascot that you can get your picture taken with.
What's a squirrel or something?
It's like
Chipmunk?
a Disney character.
It's like, it's like
well, what is Bucky?
Chipmunk.
The chipmunk
or a
Isn't
beaver?
it?
Maybe a
I'm
beaver.
not sure.
Maybe it's a beaver. He's got big teeth. It's hilarious, but it's a party. Hey, listen, it's a party in a convenience
And I
store.
think it's going to take over the world too.
God.
I mean, there should be one every
Please.
10 exits.
Do you remember when you used to go
agreed.
down to Florida and you'd see south of the border? You're 5 miles from south of the border, and they were trying to do that sort of same thing, right? It's just a big place with tchotchkes and knickknacks and shit that you could buy.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
All right.
It's incredible.
Well, I'll check it out. I can't wait. All right. Here we go.
Number one thing, don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
All right. And Dr. Scott, be looking out for questions from the Fluid family.
Gotcha.
All of them.
All
All
right.
4.
Here's one on artificial sweeteners.
Are we not having time of topics?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do
we
Tacie's
are.
topic
Okay.
time.
All right.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is,
"Thank you for calling. Please listen to your list of 46 possible service options."
which is why when you choose USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable. 24/7 online service for claims, access to roadside assistance, and more. All at the touch of a button. Start getting the service you deserve. Get a quote today. Ability to receive a quote depends on membership eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
With Walmart's new fresh and frozen subscriptions, you can save time on your weekly grocery shopping.
Dad, you're supposed to be grocery shopping.
And miss the chance to embarrass you in front of your friends? I subscribe to snacks and wet napkins. You know how messy you are.
Dad!
Walmart. Subscribe to your weekly list.
This is what you do when you've just found that statement handbag on eBay and you want to build an entire wardrobe around it. You start selling to keep buying. Yep, on eBay. Over that all-black everything phase? List it and buy all the color. Feeling more vintage than ever? It's out with the new and in with the pre-loved. Next thing you know, you've refreshed your wardrobe basically without spending a dime. Yeah, eBay, the place to buy and sell new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion.
Earning your degree online doesn't mean you have to go about it alone. At Capella University, we're here to support you when you're ready. From enrollment counselors who get to know you and your goals, to academic coaches who can help you form a plan to stay on track. We care about your success and are dedicated to helping you pursue your goals. Going back to school is a big step, but having support at every step of your academic journey can make a big difference. Imagine your future differently at capella.edu.
Because Scott sent me a good article.
It's Tacie's time of topics.
It's really
time
Scott's,
for Tacie
too.
to discuss topics of the day. Not to
He
be confused with Topic Time with Harrison Young, which is copyrighted by Harrison Young and Area 58 Public Access. And now, here's Tacie.
Just talking over your intro.
I don't care.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever.
The first pill for fecal transplants wins FDA approval.
Ooh.
There you go.
This pill is made from healthy bacteria found in human waste to fight dangerous gut infections.
Okay, so are these dehydrated?
Well, if you would let me read.
Okay, I'll
It's
go
from
fuck right off.
Ceres Therapeutics and provides a simpler, tested version of stool-based procedures that some medical specialists have used for more than a decade.
Yeah.
It's for adults 18 and up who risk repeat infections of, okay, you'll have to help me say this, Clostridium difficile, or C. diff.
Yeah, C. diff.
Which is a bacteria that can
Causes-
cause severe nausea, cramping, and diarrhea.
And it can be life-threatening, and it can kill you if you're immunocompromised, particularly. And Clostridium difficile has sort of a hospital version and a community version.
Yes.
And it sucks.
It's very dangerous when it happens over and over
Sorry.
again on you.
Yeah.
And it kills 15,000 and 30,000 people a year. So antibiotics can kill it, but they also destroy the good bacteria, leaving it susceptible for future infections.
Well, you have to take metronidazole if it's susceptible to that. Metronidazole is an antibiotic that's pretty rough. You cannot drink alcohol with it, or because it will
make you vomit.
Yeah, it'll make you flush and vomit, and it will. It's like antabuse, like what we used to give to people with alcoholism to prevent them from drinking. If they took it every day and they drank it, it would make them sick.
Right.
Well, this same reaction happens with metronidazole. And so you absolutely can't. I've been on metronidazole for a month now. Of course, I really haven't been drinking for the last 5 months, but if I wanted to, I can't because of this stuff. So anyway, but then if that doesn't work, you have to take oral vancomycin. Now, listen, if anybody's out there, I'm going to give you a tip, and you're going to circumvent Big Pharma with this, okay? Ooh, Big Pharma. Okay, so oral vancomycin is very expensive. The pills, crazy expensive. At least it was. You could look up the cost of it right now. It was extremely prohibitive. But IV vancomycin is very inexpensive. So you can just get the IV solution and take the same milligram amount by mouth. You just don't do it IV.
Right.
You do it by mouth because you don't want to do it intravenously. We're trying to kill bacteria inside the
gut.
surface of the gut.
Right.
So doing it IV really won't help you very much. But you can do that for like $10.
Wow.
So,
cool.
Yeah. I'll look up, while you're talking, Tacie, I'll look up the cost of vancomycin.
Yeah, don't pay attention to me.
No, I
New
am.
capsule
Oh,
approved for
fuck.
patients who have already gotten antibiotic treatment. More than 10 years ago, doctors began having success with fecal transplants by using stool from a healthy donor. The first pharma-grade version was approved last year by Ferring Pharma, but that one needs to be delivered via the rectum.
Yes.
So Ceres, and I don't know if I'm saying this right or not, Pharma, SERES, makes this new version, and the brand name is, don't know if I'm saying this right or not,
Say it.
Vowst, VOWST.
What a stupid-ass name.
You have to these days. 4 daily caps taken for 3 days. Stool banks will stay open or are going to try to stay open for children, etc., who aren't eligible for the FDA treatment. Standard stool treatment costs less than $1,700. The price of Vowst has not been disclosed at this time. The FDA warns that Vowst may contain food allergens, which makes sense.
It has shit in it.
Yeah.
What are they worried about?
Treatment approved based
by the
on...
way, this shit pill might have food allergens.
I mean, I know.
It has live bacteria, by the way.
Treatment approved based on a 180 patient study where 88% of patients did not experience reinfection compared to 60% who did get reinfected after dummy pills.
Dummy pills?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know where to go.
Side effects include abdominal swelling, constipation, and diarrhea. Associated Press.
This is Vowst contains live bacteria manufactured from human fecal matter that's been donated by qualified individuals. I do not understand why they have to do it this way. Why can't they just culture the bacteria they want and then put it in, and then put it in something?
I don't know, but it sounds like a job to me.
Yeah, just
So,
shitting in a bucket and getting paid for it.
I mean, maybe something I could consider.
There you go.
Story topic 2.
Ooh, all right.
This is a very short one.
We're on a roll.
Go ahead.
Okay. 2 mothers who died with herpes most likely exposed to infection in surgery.
Ooh.
These are new mothers. Coroners are investigating after the same OB conducted their C-sections.
And did that OB have herpes?
No, that's interesting because it could have been a droplet infection or a Whitlow, which is a herpes infection of the finger.
Yeah, that used to be a quiz on this show. Is what do you call herpes of the fingernail? And that was one of GVAC's things. He could never remember the word herpetic Whitlow. He finally got it.
The guy was double gloved. He was scrubbed. Mask, no Whitlow history does not prevent a covert Whitlow having been the source.
Yes, it does.
It decreases the possibility, but doesn't remove it.
They can test that doctor, and if the surgeon doesn't have antibodies for herpes, it wasn't the surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it could have been, there's lots of other people.
It could have been lots of other people.
Lots of other people in the surgery suite that touch things inside. So, they're trying to go for the big, deep pocket, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, this happened 5 years ago, so they're still looking at it. The risk of dying from herpes in pregnancy is 1 in 3.2 million.
Oh, my word.
And they had 2 happen
That's
just
crazy.
within a very short period of time
because
in
it
the
was
same area with the same OB.
Super herpes?
It didn't say super herpes. It just said
Sounds
herpes.
like super herpes to me.
Well, it does to me, too, because it killed them.
Damn.
So that is...
That's a bad deal.
Damn.
Time of topic.
Oh, that was it?
Hey, good
Okay,
job.
Very good.
Good job.
All right.
Hearken to thine inner voice and give thyself a bell.
That's
no
3 to 1,
task shalt
Chief.
be denied if thy will be strong and true.
All right.
That's a full one. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
That was a good one.
Well, you did your homework. You deserve it.
And then look at this
Well, you
medical
gave me the
journalism.
homework.
That's right.
Look at this medical journalism. Vowst is set to joust.
Oh, my God.
Boo. Come on.
Hey, you know what? If you're looking for a good pharma job and you don't mind traveling, that might be a good one to take.
That would be a good one. Here's some shit pills. Let me leave you some samples.
Because I thought, hey, maybe I could. And then I was like,
oh, wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. Who makes this? It says here it's Nestle.
Yeah, Nestle is going to help co-promote it. It's like Nestle. It's Sarah's Pharmaceuticals, but Nestle is involved somehow.
Oh, no.
Either Nestle bought them or did something with it, but I did not find that pertinent to the situation.
Nestle Health Science already has gastroenterology sales force. Okay, so they're gonna sell it for them. But can you imagine? Here comes the Nestle's truck, and out comes the sales rep with their turd
Never
pills.
met a Nestle rep before.
No, me neither.
That would be something to be fun to rep for, I would think.
I mean, you'd have half the damn country.
Yeah,
but...
that's the truth.
Ugh. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, all right. That was a good one. Thank
Good
you,
one,
Tacie.
Tace.
All right. Here.
Thank you, Scott.
On the same. What do you mean, Scott?
He sent me the first article.
Okay.
He sends me this stuff.
Okay, fair.
The second one I came up with on my own.
All right, Jesus.
I'm going to talk about it some more. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Steve. This is Matt from Connecticut.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Dr. Scott.
Hey,
Matt. You guys are both doing well.
What about Tacie?
I am a new nurse up in the Northeast, and I guess I'm just exposed to more things than the average person. So I noticed that lately my farts have been coming out just without any real desire to push, if I'm moving a certain way or whatever. And because I'm a nurse and taking care of a lot of incontinent people, is my asshole giving me a warning that I'm going to be a mess later on?
No, just blame it on them, though.
Well, what does that mean, though, that he...
He's incontinent of flatus? It's something in his diet. It's stress.
Too much digestible fiber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell him what to do,
Eat more
Scott.
proteins. Eat more protein. Maybe a little bit less digestible fiber.
Like what? Tell him what to
fish.
Okay, eat
barbecue.
Eat more fish and barbecue. Here's the vegan talking, and then, but what digestible proteins? I mean, digestible sugars. Indigestible sugars is he probably imbibing?
He's probably imbibing things like broccoli and things like carrots and
things that should be good for you.
That are good for you, but when they break down, they can. Even in some of the fiber supplements,
flatogenic.
Yeah, and some of the and beans, possibly. May give you
I have one for you.
The toots.
What if he's taking? There's certain fiber supplements that have chicory root in them. It's also called inulin. Look and see if you're taking anything with inulin in them, because that stuff is the most flatogenic fiber supplement. And they sell it in some of these fiber supplements that they say, you can stir it in water and it disappears. And I'm not going to say any brand names, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. And if you look, they will say they have inulin in them. And that shit, when Opie and Anthony were going to do a fart smelling contest, I built them a piece of equipment. It was just basically ventilator tubing with a mask on both ends. And you put one mask up to your ass, and then you could smell anything with the other mask, right? And had about 4 feet of tubing. And what I was going to tell them to do if we did the competition was give everybody 2 tablets of inulin the night before and that morning, and they would have no trouble having farts galore. And so look for that. And then, as Dr. Scott said, there are natural things that can cause it, including legumes, broccoli, cauliflower, that kind of stuff.
Well,
So
I hate to tell the guy not to eat that kind of stuff.
Well, but
what about Beano?
Right. So thank you. There you go. Very good. That was where I was going.
Give thyself
Oh,
a bell.
for God's sakes. Somebody's trying to get back in good graces today.
Beano is just a collection of enzymes that will break down indigestible sugars in the gut. Because if you have indigestible sugars that we can't digest, they're digestible, but they're digestible by bacteria and yeast in our gut. And when they digest it, it's going to make gas.
Right.
When we digest them, we're going to break them up into little component parts and then absorb them. And but if those things make it to the lower gut, you're in big trouble. And using these enzymes, you can break apart some of these sugars to their component parts, and then the body can absorb them.
Yeah.
So we're big fans of Beano. The other thing is he become lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
That can cause flatogenic issues as well.
And pain.
Yeah, I think if he really looks pretty strongly at his diet, he's going to find there's a culprit.
You know what else
lingering.
It could be? Is aerophagia. So when you're in healthcare, particularly when you're new, you figure, oh God, I got to go eat. Now you shovel food in and you're drinking, and you're drinking sodas on the fly and stuff like that. Or even if you're drinking water, but you're gulping it down and you're swallowing air.
Yeah.
And you're farting like a, you know what? I used to be able to say the whole alphabet in eructations and burps, and I would take air in to my stomach and fill it up like a balloon, and then I could go A, B, C, D, F, G like that with just a belch. And what I found was, the more I did it, the less air I could get out, and then the air has to go somewhere. And I ended up just farting like crazy for the next 8 hours.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right.
All right.
So look at all of those things and then let us know. I don't think that's any sign that there's something wrong with you.
No.
All right.
Hey guys, I was wondering about getting some vaccinations before going out of the country.
Okay.
And also, like an STD test and screening. Would it be beneficial? Would it behoove me to go to an emergency room to do that?
No.
Or is that out of course like a Care Now facility?
That would
like
be maybe okay.
Places that are all over the place? Or should I make an appointment with a GP?
Yeah.
I don't have insurance and haven't been to a doctor in fucking 20 years, so I don't know where to start.
Okay.
What would be the cheapest option?
Yeah. Well, there won't be a cheap option for this. But listen, you're flying out of the country. That's not a cheap option in the first place. So why go and then get cholera or something? And the thing is most of the time they're going to tell you what you have to get to go to that country. So if you're just going to Europe, most of the time you don't have to do anything, unless they're requiring certain vaccines to get in the country. So just make sure you're up to date on your routine vaccines. That's going to be measles, mumps, and rubella, pertussis, which is whooping cough. You should be up to date on those. Tetanus, shit like that. And then go to the CDC. Just go to cdc.gov, and they do have destination pages for travel health information. So, and then make an appointment with your primary care. But if you live in a big city, there are travel health specialists.
Yeah, so aren't there like community health care centers that they can go to? Local.
You might be able to do that too. Your local
Possibly.
health department might be able to help you with this. But just pick a place. Pick a place, and I'll tell you what vaccines you're supposed to get. How about
Mexico City?
Mexico. Okay. Well, Mexico should be pretty easy. Let's see here. So, Mexico, travel health notices. The Salmonella Newport in Mexico. Some travelers who have spent time in Mexico have been infected with multi-drug resistant Salmonella Newport. But it says here, routine vaccines. And this is from the CDC travel advisory website. It says chickenpox, diphtheria, flu, measles, mumps and rubella, polio, and shingles. And then it says all eligible travelers should be up to date with their COVID-19 vaccines. Doesn't say it's required. If you're unvaccinated traveler, 1 year old or older going to Mexico, you should have hepatitis A vaccine. Recommended for unvaccinated travelers younger than 60 years old traveling to Mexico is hepatitis B vaccine. Malaria is only recommended if you're going to certain areas to take medication for that, and there are medications that you can take, but there is some malaria, measles, and then rabies. Now, rabid dogs are commonly found in Mexico. If you're bitten or scratched by a dog, well, in Mexico, rabies treatment is often available. So. And then, if you're staying with friends or relatives visiting smaller cities or rural areas, CDC recommends typhoid dosing as well. And that is, I'm looking at it. Okay, vaccines to prevent typhoid fever. There's an oral live attenuated vaccine, and there's a capsular polysaccharide vaccine. So, so that's how you do that. Okay. So I don't know where you're going. And, when we went took the boys to London, I don't think we had to do anything special.
No, I don't think
for them.
so.
They just had to be up to date on their regular routine vaccine. So it just really depends on where you're going. But have fun. All right.
Sounds like he's got plans with the STD test.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah.
He may be going for something else.
Are you going to Thailand?
Oh, there you go.
I'd like to go to Thailand. I think it'd be awesome. God, that'd be the coolest place in the world to go. It looks beautiful.
It does look beautiful. It's scary as hell after the what was it, tsunami?
Oh, the tsunami.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was wild.
Way too many people got.
Yeah, and Indonesia really got hit bad too. So, but I would love to go. All right, here we go.
Dr. Steve, it's Matt in Charleston.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, like on your feet, you got veins in your feet.
Yeah.
And it's pretty normal looking, nothing out of the ordinary. But I got one that was mostly normal for most of my life, but now it's kind of like a bulgy part to that one little vein. It's not bothering me. It's not painful. It's not in the way. It kind of squishes down, but it definitely wasn't like that. And now it's kind of bulgy and like roundish, maybe like the size of a marble.
Yeah.
And but it kind of goes away when you squish it, and then it kind of slowly comes back.
Good.
I don't know. Is that normal?
Scott, you want to take that?
Sounds like you got some varicose veins.
Yep. It sounds like there's been failure of the valve. The
valve
that's in the vein.
And the fluid. Yes. It's 17-2.
It sure is.
So
the fluid fills up above, and the valve starts to fail, and then it just continues as that fluid sinks down with gravity.
Right.
Puts more pressure on the valves below, and that's when you start getting those varicosities.
Right. And so you can have one on your foot. It could have been minor trauma. Something just failed, and it kind of bloops out. But that, as long as you can push down on it, it feels squishy, and then it comes back. That means it's filled with fluid, so it's not filled with blood clot, and so that's good. Now, if it were filled with blood clot, it might be painful. It's not going to do anything to you because blood or veins below the level of the knee generally don't travel to the lung and cause pulmonary embolism, which is what you're worried about when you talk about having a blood clot in your leg.
We have vein clinics here to get that taken care of. I'm sure they have those in Charleston.
If it's just on the top of his foot, he can probably not worry about it. But there are people that have these big, giant, goobery, serpentine veins on their legs. And if they live in a place like Charleston where they want to wear shorts, they look horrendous. And then they can have those. That's when I would go to a vein clinic for sure.
Yeah, and the way they treat that anymore, sometimes they're if he goes early enough, maybe they can treat it and stop it from getting much worse. Yeah, which might not be a bad idea.
Let's talk a little bit about something you can do at home to stop it from getting worse. If you notice that you're starting to develop even the slight amount of that, wearing medium strength support hose, which you can get those about any place that sells durable medical equipment. They're not the TED hose. Those are the real, heavy strength support hose. Medium strength support hose look just like regular socks,
right?
And they apply external compression that counterposes the internal pressure of the fluid on the side of the vein wall. And when you do that, you'll decrease the need for it to kind of expand and ruin those valves that are in there, and thus preventing varicose veins. So you
sounds
can try
like
that.
it's affecting his sandal look, though, and he is in Charleston. So.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, and that may be something you may be able to treat really easily with a little injection in that one vein.
Yeah.
Knock it out.
Okay, sounds good. You guys
good luck, Matt.
You have anything else?
No. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks to the Fluid family. All right, well, very good. Well, thanks always go to Dr. Scott and to Tacie. Thanks to everyone who's made the show happen over the years. Listen to our SiriusXM show on the Faction Talk channel, SiriusXM channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Thanks to the Fluid family and our YouTube channel. Come check us out. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine, or subscribe to our channel. Get notifications when we're on. And we love interacting with people who want to just hang out. It's not a whole hell of a lot of people, and that's okay. We don't really push the video side, but it's fun having the Fluid family in the waiting room YouTube channel. So, and go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules, podcasts, and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps, quit smoking, get off your asses, get some exercise. We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine. Thanks, everybody.